Thank you so much for watching. Joining us here in the Man Cave, my brother from another mother, none other than the wonderful Darren Barnett. Lovely to see you, sir.
I body doubled for you last Sunday. No, I knew.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
It's outstanding.
It was great. I hope everyone loved you for it. All right, let's also have a chat to James Ashby. Congratulations to him and the wider One Nation team. And also, I really want to appreciate Malcolm Roberts giving us a shout-out on social media today that, yeah, we noticed the One Nation thing, right? How many nights, how many weeks did we say, hey, they're at 7%, they're at 8%, they're at 10%. Maybe something might happen. James, congratulations to you and Pauline. Again, a two-person Senate operation now becoming a four-person, a footprint, Queensland, New South Wales, Western Australia. Your lap of the map, state MPs elected all over the shop. This is an incredible bit of growth for the party.
Yeah, I can finally start growing my fingernails back, Paul. It's been nail-biting for a lot of people, including Tyrone and Warwick, who have thankfully been elected. But, you know, strangely enough, we only narrowly missed out on Victoria, and I mean narrowly missed out. We were right down to the line there, and unfortunately it just didn't happen for Warren. But nonetheless, we had great success, and I think a lot of it came down to the fact that not only did we run a good campaign, it was really on a shoestring budget. And I've got to say thank you to everybody who participated. If you couldn't give money, that was fine. So many people gave us their time, which meant more in actual fact, because having people on polling booths, as you know, when you're handing out how to vote cards, it makes life so much easier. But also, too, I think more and more people were engaged in this election, and they didn't waste their vote. They gave us their preference in the Senate, and that's why we ended up with 4. So we go back with 4 now, and 22nd of July, look out. One Nation's there, 4 on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the way the Parliament's going to work, is that obviously Labor Greens are able to pass a lot of stuff. I think only that supercharges you guys and the way you're going to be able to fight back against that agenda, including that tariff stuff I'll get to in a second. But Darren, we've seen, like, I love Senate chat, right? It's like the most nerdy of the political conversations, because reality is you can't pass anything clearly without it. And we've seen scenarios where, way back when, Brian Harradine, one person, and then there's sort of, another collection and different power up and down, and obviously the focus is in and around Labor, Greens, coalition, crossbench, right? Lambie just, and I mean just as well.
But One Nation got close in Tassie too.
That's what I'm saying. So Lee Hanson just knocking down the door there. They're knocking down the door in Victoria. So, I mean, doubling your representation is pretty amazing. What does it say to you? Do you think that it's the sign of just a moment in time, or the sign of a little change for time?
Look, clearly the number of people voting for not the two major parties, or we'll call the coalition one of the two major parties, people are putting their vote elsewhere. And this time around, they've parked that vote very happily with One Nation. And we've spoke about it before the election a bunch of times, that the Dutton campaign, does he go to the centre or does he go to the right? Every time he oscillates, he loses votes.
Correct.
Palmer this time, Trumpeter Patriots, was not palatable. One Nation was the alternative, and their vote continued to build, and that's translated into Senate spots, and good on them. Congratulations.
Well, and also,
But hang on, but when we talk about the Senate, it is going to be a different Senate where we're not relying on the crossbenchers for everything to happen. But that doesn't mean you can't still make a lot of noise.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean that in 3 years' time that the balance won't shift again. I think this was 29. The one that we were replacing was a particularly strong coalition result.
Yes.
This has been a particularly strong Labor result. The off 3 years, who knows?
It might wash a little one way or the other.
I'll put it this way. I'd much rather have 4 people in the Senate than one person in the Senate.
Yeah.
And they've got that for the next... Well, they're probably going to pick up their same senator in 3 years' time.
I'd take 4 in the Senate than one downstairs, because remember, 6-year terms.
4 in the Senate's going to be incredibly valuable. If it's not valuable now, it's valuable in 3 years' time.
This result has spurred Pauline Hanson on. She said to me the other day, bugger the 3 years I've got left, I want 9.
Hey.
So look out, she's determined. And because it's growth. This has really spurred us on as a party. And I must admit, this was the make it or break it election. If we didn't improve on our numbers, we had to have a good hard look at ourselves and say to ourselves, is this worth moving forward with? Because there's only so long you can beat your head against a brick wall. And so this just proves that One Nation is a desirable party for those people who don't want to vote for the two major parties. And this has put a real bit of kick and confidence, I guess is probably the best word, behind Pauline, to know that what she's doing has been right, and that confidence has been passed on in the voters.
Geez, breaking news. You'll hear it repeated in other shows across the week. Pauline getting ready to run again. 3 years' time, top of the ticket, Queensland. Yes, that would be a very good thing for our politics. Also, just one last thing worth talking about here when it comes to just being a senator, but certainly having multiple senators. And Malcolm Roberts ran a spectacular campaign on social media, right? He's got 100,000 followers, never spoken to by the establishment media, no interviews, all the rest of it, right? His questions and his questioning of people in things like Senate estimates, which doesn't make the news because, they're dirty questions from one. Guess what? People go, hang on. He's just asking them a really straight-up question and he's seeing the BS from the people asking, and that stuff really sticks, probably even better than any interview or news story could be. So, again, congratulations to you and the entire team, James. I know just how hard you work, as well as, of course,